Hey everybody, welcome back to the Kentwood Project. And for a mix-up, something we've actually never done before, which Rachel has no idea I'm going to do right now, is we're actually going to introduce ourselves. I'm John.
And I'm Rachel.
That's my wife.
As you just said. We are the Reeds.
We are the Reeds, which I feel like everyone else in their videos introduced themselves, and I thought,
we should probably do an introduction video. After we get done with this house, we'll have a list. In the interim, before we start our next project, we can do a Meet the Reeds.
Meet the Reeds.
And a Meet the Raptor Cage, aka our trailer.
We still haven't done the Meet the Raptor Cage yet either.
Yeah. So
yes,
but yes,
look forward
John,
to more things.
Rachel.
Yes, John, Rachel, John, husband, wife. But this is a Kentwood.
You pointed at yourself when you said wife.
Husband, wife. I did. Wife, husband. But yes, this is the Kentwood Project, and thank you for sticking through that awesome introduction.
So up on the time lapse, this video, we have all of the priming for our painting and then the preceding painting. So
we'll walk you through a new tool. We'll talk about that we got called the Power Roller.
Which was definitely worth it as a one-person painting team.
Yes, game changer.
Yeah. I talked with one of our friends who is a professional at this, and when it comes to the painting, and their crew does it a little bit different, but knowing we only have one person, the Power Roller worked really well and allowed me to get the whole house done in one day. That said, my back was definitely feeling it, and there were lots of stretching breaks. So you may see some interesting moments where what is Rachel doing? Probably stretching.
So yeah, enjoy the time lapse and our beautiful voices narrating.
Yes. See you on the flip side. So, what are we doing here? Clearing out the space so that we can get ready to cover the nasty walls.
Yes.
And ceiling.
The first thing we do is priming with our paint sprayer. So everything that we don't want to get painted has to be out of that house, because that paint sprayer will get paint everywhere.
Well, primer, right? Didn't you say primer?
Yeah, true.
Oh, true.
It's primer, but it's a paint sprayer.
True. I still was thinking texturing, so, which we did last time.
Yes. And here we go. This is the first round of primer. We had it split up into job duties. Me being taller, I did the ceilings and the top of the walls, and then handed off, and you took over the rest of the walls.
That is true. So yes, so the primer went on everything, ceiling to floor. Well, not on the floor, but yeah, ceiling down the walls.
To the floor.
To the floor.
Yes.
On the doors, on the trim, on anything and everything that was staying in the house.
And we just did one coat of primer because we had following coats of paint coming up, and one coat of primer seemed to do pretty well for us.
In hindsight, I think we should have definitely primed the ceiling
Twice?
More than once, yes. The ceilings are
they're much more textury, so it's harder to
deceiving is the word I was looking for. Yeah,
it's harder to get paint to cover well on a heavy textured surface.
True, yeah. But yeah, and they're deceiving for, I think, how much paint they need.
Yeah. And we went through, as a reference here, we went through 10 gallons of primer, didn't we? Yes, we went through 10 gallons of primer.
2 5-gallon.
To do this entire house.
True. And that was just one coat.
Yes, one coat.
So.
For people out there wondering how much paint it takes. And then following up on having everything primed, we then went into doing the next layer of paint, which is going to be all of our ceilings. Which you did all by yourself, actually.
Which, yeah, it was just a flat or a matte white paint.
Matte white ceiling paint. I'm not sure what's the difference about ceiling paint and other paint, but there's specifically paint for ceilings.
Yes.
there has to be something different
I
about
think,
it.
honestly, they're maybe a little less rugged. So they're...
Not as durable and
So
scrubbable.
it allows for them to be a little cheaper. But yeah, they're not like washable and stuff, I don't think.
That makes
Because
sense.
generally speaking, you're not going to get stuff you don't need to wash your ceilings.
Yeah.
But we'd have to ask our friends. We have some friends who would definitely know.
But yeah, like we said before though, it covered pretty well. We could have done 2 coats of primer, or we could have done 2 coats of ceiling paint.
Yes. And here we are removing all the trim that we just primed. Because when we went to put on the trim and door paint, it was
Reacted badly.
Yes, it was not going well.
Yeah, so the original lacquer on all the trim didn't react well to the primer and trim paint we were using, and it just got extremely yellow, which you can see on that door right there.
I was just going to say that. Yep, you could see it on the door.
It actually made it more yellow the more paint we put on it.
It tended to run a lot more than on the walls. So by that, it just means, the paint was actually like running off of the doors as opposed to absorbing into it.
Yeah. So instead of messing with it and sanding it and priming it more, we just took them all out.
Wasting lots of paint, yeah.
And we're getting all new doors and all new trim now.
So, unexpected in the timeline as far as work goes and the budget, but it will definitely be worth it as far as how the house will look. And thankfully, I don't think it really has set us back that much.
But now that we have that decision made, we gotta make room for all the trim and all the doors.
True, that is what's happening here in the garage. So we needed to clean out the garage anyway, also, because it hasn't had a good cleaning since we started the project. So we got that moved out so we could put all our trim in there. And still removing trim.
The last of it.
Yep. And John working while I work around him. It's paint time!
This is the start of all of the cutting in, which I think it works better whenever we do all the cut-in work first before we do any kind of the rolling.
I don't really have experience. We've never really gotten to do cut in, roll, cut in, roll. We've kind of always done it this way.
I think it works better.
I thought it worked fine.
Because then you don't have to worry about going back and forth on cutting in and then rolling and cutting in and then rolling. You get all your cutting in done, and then you get all your rolling done. I like doing things in stages like that.
True.
I like eating my food one type of food at a time.
That is true.
It's part of the same concept.
I like to mix it all together into a salad.
So yeah, I like keeping everything separate. So I guess that spills over.
I take a page out of Remy's cookbook and I do culinary experiments in my mouth. Hopefully other people have seen
hopefully it's a movie reference.
what is the movie? Yeah, with
I have no idea what you're talking
Yes,
about.
you do. We've watched it with the little mouse and he's a cook.
Oh, Ratatouille?
Ratatouille, yes.
Oh, okay.
His name's Remy.
Thank goodness we got around to that one.
Anyway, back to what we're doing here.
Putting in the light fixtures,
Yes.
which I didn't film all of it. I just got a few of them in here of putting all the new light fixtures in because the ceilings are painted now.
Hooray! And I was really excited to actually have light because we've only had light in maybe 2 rooms for most of this project.
Yes.
So it's super nice to have lighting, especially while painting.
It makes painting much easier when you can see what you're painting.
Yeah, it's a smarter idea than painting in the dark. Or with the one single light that we had to move around.
Yes.
So is this very hard to do?
No.
You'd already done the wire work.
Yeah, I put in so many light fixtures, it's quite easy now.
Yeah, well, that's good. But yes, more cutting in.
Which, for the cutting in, this is all you're seeing now as the first coat. There is an entire second coat on top of this too. So you do all your first coat of all your cutting in, and then you go back and you do the same thing all over again.
Yes.
To have 2 coats of wall paint everywhere.
And I definitely started not liking cutting it. It was kind of like mudding. I did not like it at first, but then I kind of found a strategy and a rhythm to it, and then I liked it a lot better. Mm-hmm. That said, it was still really uncomfortable because the best way to cut in meant your head was like cranked up next to the ceiling to be able to see the line, so it was really uncomfortable on your neck.
However, for me, it was perfect because my ladder puts my head exactly at the perfect level.
Yeah, mine was too high.
Without bending my neck.
So I was like leaning over to the side. Again, they can't see me, so they don't know. But basically watch my head in the video, and that's what was happening.
There's also a few days where I forgot the camera, so I actually don't have my portion of the cutting in on the second coat. So
he doesn't really.
Just trust me, I totally
didn't do it.
I totally helped. It just wasn't on camera. I promise.
Sure.
And if anyone was wondering, the color we're using is a custom color.
Yes.
And it's called Reed Gray.
It is the perfect gray color. Because anybody who knows anything about colors, and especially when it comes to paint, will realize that finding a gray that actually looks gray on your wall versus slightly blue or slightly green or slightly purple is really hard. Mm-hmm. But we achieved magicalness.
And if you're curious and you want to know how to get it yourself, send us a direct message, or leave a comment, and we'll share the paint code with you.
Oh, cool.
If you really want to know how you can get this custom Reed Gray color. I think this is the second coat right here going up that you're doing, obviously, because my filming wasn't on here. But I did some of this too. Oh, there I am.
Yeah.
Haha. A little blip of my little cut-in work. The second coat, for me, it's always much easier than the first coat.
They were about the same for me. So much painting.
It was quite a few days.
I mean, cutting in is a tedious process.
It was 2 days of cutting in.
Yeah, it is a tedious process.
For the two of us.
Yeah, right.
But this is the last room for cutting in.
Oh.
And then starts the new tool. Your Graco pressure roller.
Oh, it looks so pretty.
Which hooks up to our airless paint sprayer. So it gives a continuous, perfect quantity of paint on your roller at all times. I mean, this is our first time using it, and it beats out using a roller and a pan of paint.
Oh, for sure. It was really handy. The amount of mess was really like next to none.
And for those of you who are wondering what it kind of looks like up close, we have a little snippet coming up of exactly what this pressure roller looks like. So it's just a stainless steel rod that's hollow and a stainless tube that's hollow that goes up to a paint roller. So it injects the paint up through the tube into the middle of the roller.
Yeah.
And then oozes out from the inside. You got really good really quickly with a pressure roller.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a learning curve with it, but then, I felt like I picked it up pretty quick.
And even if you use a pressure roller, you still have to go and do your, what's it called, back
rolling.
Back rolling. So you go 4 or 5 rolls up.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you... Oh yeah, it's you stretching.
I am stretching. I'll have to show my Mind Muscle guys. They'll be really proud of me because I was using some of their stretches.
But it goes so fast
Yeah, it was really, I mean, other than, like I said, my upper back getting really sore, it was pretty fun to use.
Because it is heavier than a normal paint roller.
Yes, it is. There's some heft to it. Oh, the bathroom was the worst. It was that is something, when you have a small space, it's like kind of annoying to try to move around because you can't get a full stroke from the top to the bottom.
Mm-hmm. You gotta split it up.
So yeah, you're doing the top and then the bottom and hoping you don't have a line. No, but there is something really satisfying about seeing the wall like turn the other color, and it's like, oh, it's just so exciting.
And also for people who are curious, this house took 15 gallons of wall paint to do 2 coats on all the walls.
Yes. Which thankfully we had a hookup at Sherwin-Williams, our friend Lizzie. So she helped us out with kind of guesstimating because we didn't know how much paint really to estimate. So she had the brilliant idea of we only tinted 10 gallons to start. And we purchased 20, and then we were able to we actually ended up tinting 1 more gallon and returned the other one.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And for future projects yourself, you can buy more of the base without it tinted and get it tinted later on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so second coat time. Oh yeah, also annoying with all the appliances in there.
We did get appliances delivered halfway through the painting job.
True.
Oh, also, shout out to our sweet Graco Airless paint sprayer. Link in the description for all the fun stuff we're talking about too, by the way.
I know, this video is full of things. We'll have to give Lizzie's info and the Graco stuff, the paint roller, all the hookups.
Things that make your life so much easier. If you're gonna, I would say even if you're painting one house.
Oh, touch-up time.
Get the right equipment.
That was one thing, is sometimes I still would hit the ceiling with the paint roller.
Overall, you did a good job.
Yeah, I thought it went well. And now our house is painted.
Ta-da. Welcome back to the flip side.
Thanks for checking out the time lapse. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing the paint go up as much as we did, because that means we're getting closer and closer to the finish line. Pretty exciting. Up next, our biggest project will be the floors, so definitely tell your friends and anyone else who might find that interesting to check out our channel. If you have any questions or fun comments, please leave them below.
Or an insult. You can. It's a free country. You can leave an insult.
That's true. If you want to thumbs down our video,
feel free for it.
So
we
interesting.
appreciate that too.
Well,
it means you're interacting with us.
That's true. We do like interaction, but constructive criticism. If you're gonna thumbs down, at least put why. Like you talk too much or something. Like give us something. That'd be good.
Or if it's just my face, I can't fix it.
That's true. It's just his face. Well, when it comes to projects, I think that's a wrap.
Tour! A lot of painting. More than we enjoy doing.
I think we should start that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Awkward silence.
This is the way.
This is the way.